Welcome to Beach's Kitchen. Today we're making white soup. Special request. Why is it called white soup, you may ask? Because it has no rhythm. So, the first thing you're going to need is a lot of pot. After you have a big enough pot, you're going to need some chicken. Normally I get the 2 chicken breast pack, which is about 1.5 pounds of chicken. This time they only had the 3 pack for 2 pounds. So I'm upping some of my other ingredients. Normally, just a single box, 32 ounces of chicken broth, but I've got another small thing of chicken broth I'm going to use to compensate for the additional chicken. And then 2 or 3 jalapenos, going with 3 again because of the increased chicken and chicken broth. And then normally 4 bell peppers, again, bumping that up. They are different colors for I don't know what reason. I don't know if they taste any different, but I like all the colors. It looks pretty. Then you're gonna need white kernel corn. They did not have any, so I got some canned. We're gonna see how that goes. I got 2 of those. You need 1 of these cans of chopped green chilies. You're gonna need 2 cans of Great Northern beans, and then 8 to 12 ounces of cream cheese. I went with 12, again, upping all of my ingredients. And then lastly, you will need between 2 and 24 ounces of your favorite liquid. Let's get started. First things first is washing and then dicing all of these veggies. You can cut them into any shape that you want, hearts or dinosaurs. This is the most time-consuming portion of the cook. So here we go. Got everything diced. I cheated. I've got this old dicer chopper bobber over here. So I got all the big veggies diced, and then my jalapenos, cut some into wagon wheels, some are in little squares, some are in little slivers. Never let them know your next move. Now, one thing I forgot, garlic. You need some garlic and a little bit of butter. So, if you want to, you can go ahead and start getting that warm and let that just a little piece of butter, not a whole bunch. I kind of get it in there, move it around so it kind of coats everything. Now, you could probably do this whole thing with just a knife, but it does help to have a couple of fancy tools. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now you've got your garlic in there all diced up nice and pretty. You can use between 2 and 4 cloves. The rookies out there, just stick with 2. If you don't want to use any, that's fine. But now you've just outed yourself as a vampire, and we're coming for you. So, stick it in there, that little bit of butter, get it going, cook it until it gets smelly, maybe about 5 or so minutes. If you're like, why are you using tongs? It's because I like to do as few dishes as possible so I can use tongs for the duration. So let that simmer in there for about 5 minutes on about a medium-ish, maybe just under a medium heat. 5 minutes later, we're going to add all the rest of the stuff and then let that cook for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so we got the garlic and the butter in there. It cooked for 5 minutes. Then we threw all of our veggies in. This has been cooking for about 10 minutes. Stir it every 2 to 3 minutes. Now it is, I like to think, a bit more receptive to seasoning. So we have salt and pepper. We have Tony Chachere's. We have some oregano. We have basil, ground cumin, and chipotle chili pepper. Now, I have no idea how much of this stuff I put in ever. I kind of feel it. So, yeah. Let's see what happens. Maybe you can get some measurements off of this video. So, a little bit of pepper. That looks good. Throw some salt in there. That's good. Tony Chachere's. About yay much. Oregano. Yeah. Some basil. Yeah. Ground cumin. That's pretty good. And then just a dash of the chili pepper. Alright, that's it. Then we stir it up and let it go for another 5 to 10 minutes. It's probably going to take extra long because of all the veggies that are in there, but should be about a total of 20, 25-ish minutes of cooking veggies. Also by now, time for a refill. Okay, so we've been cooking for about 5 minutes since I added all of our seasoning. Stirred it up, everything was looking good. We're gonna add the corn. Now normally I put this in the air fryer and cook it and add it later, but we are stuck with cans right now, so this is what we're doing. So drain it and then slap them in there, just like that. Just all willy-nilly, not a care in the world, and there it goes. And then take a sip. Oh, delicious. Now, stir this sucker up. Usually takes 2 hands. Now I'm gonna let that go for another 5 minutes. Just did another little stir. Things are looking all right. I want to make a note. Don't put a top on it. If you put a top on, you'll see all that steam coming out. That steam will be trapped in there and it'll kind of make everything real soft. The steam will steam. I want that steam to leave so this stuff not necessarily dries out, but isn't like soggy, soppy, because then those little pieces of pepper and everything will just kind of fall apart. And it just turns to mush. You don't want mush, you want soup. Okay, this thing's been cooking for way too long because I have way too many veggies in there. If you use the regular amount, you should be fine. Now, we're adding chicken broth. Also, in another room, Catherine is judging me because now she's home and she doesn't know I'm doing this. So, here we go. We're adding the chicken broth. Now this is entertainment. What we're going to do here, now we got this chicken broth in here, we want this to start boiling, but just to the point where you get like 1 or 2 little bubbles, and then we're going to add the chicken. So, now we got our chicken broth in here. That's my little additional baby chicken broth. So that should take a couple minutes. Once it starts to boil, just a few little bubbles, we'll throw the chicken in there and then do the chicken for 10 minutes. Right, so this has been boiling for about 15 minutes. I'll let it go a little bit longer just because of the volume. So here we are, we've been cooking for an hour and a half so far. So what you're gonna do, take the chicken out and slap it over here and then you shred it. I use 2 forks. If you got one of those little Wolverine claw things, it'd probably work pretty cool. I use 2 forks, works just fine. Shred all your chicken and then throw it back in the pot. Also time for a re-up. Better. First chicken breast is shredded. You want to shred it as fine as you can and then throw it back in. Also at this point, chicken's done cooking, so you can scooch that down a little bit so it's just down to a simmer. You want to keep it hot, a little more than warm, but you don't want it to be boiling too much anymore. And number 2. Boom, number 2 has been working out, so we throw him in there. Get it? Been working out. He's shredded. Trace. Shredded. Throw it in. Beautiful. Now we stir. Also by now, you should be on your 3rd drink. If you aren't, catch up. So we've got our butter, garlic, veggies, cooked, simmered, chicken, boiled, shredded, thrown in, mixed around. Now, our heat is down a little bit and everything is nice and hot. We are going to add our beans and our green chilies. Now mix. Nice and mixed. Add your cream cheese. Nailed it. Once you have all that in there, give it a good stir. It's technically done. If you want to add any seasoning, add more cream cheese to make it a little thicker, you can. Taste it, add some more stuff if you want, but that's it. You're done. White soup. Congratulations. You're the best. Congratulations, you're done. Your meal is ready. I usually portion out between 8 to 9-ish ounces and garnish with a little bit of cheese, and you're done. And there's dinner. It only took 2 hours.